Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to share how to make veggie creamy coconut rice for kids with ofada rice. That's what we'll be making in this video, so let's get into it. These are the ingredients I'm going to use. I'm going to use ofada rice, like I said. You can use any rice if you don't have ofada rice. You can use jasmine, you can use basmati, any rice you have at hand. I'm also going to use peas and carrots as a veggie in this rice. I'm also going to use onion, white and red onions, what I use in this video, but you can use either of the two. And I'm also going to use spice. I have chicken spice, any spice you have, you can use it. I also have salt and oregano. Oregano is just to give it a kick. And also I'm going to use butter in this recipe. So for the king of the recipe, I'm going to use coconut milk. I'll show you how I make this coconut milk in another video. So what I'm going to do to this rice is to soak the rice overnight. It's good to soak your rice overnight anytime you are making rice dish for you and your kids. I will explain more as we go. So the first thing I'll do is to add butter into my pan because we are going to toast the rice. I always like to toast my rice before I cook it. So I'm going to use 2 bay leaves. You can use one if you want, and if you don't have it, just let it be. So I added a little bit of spice in order to bring out the aroma of the rice as I'm cooking, the aroma of the spice as I'm cooking, as I'm toasting the rice. So you have to mix this continuously so that the rice will not stick to the bottom. So the next thing is to add the onions into the rice. The reason I had onion at this stage is because I want, that aroma all around the house. So another thing I'm going to have is cardamom. If you don't have your cardamom, you can use cinnamon because that cardamom take it to another level. So if you have cinnamon or cardamom, you can use it. And if you don't have any, just let it be. So we are going to test the rice if it's toast. What we are going to do is to put a little bit in my hand and press it. If it's hard, that means the rice is toasted. So I'm going to add coconut milk into the rice. The reason I don't use oil in this recipe is because coconut milk contains oil and the butter we have there also is enough to bring that taste of oil in the dish. The next thing is to add my broth. If you don't have broth, you can add additional water. I have the recipe of I have the video of how to make broth. I'll share the link in the description box. And I'm going to add the remaining spice into it. Then I'll cover with a parchment paper and my kitchen towel, then cover it with the pot lid. The reason I always do this is because I don't use aluminum paper in my kitchen. It's dangerous to it, so I don't use it. So I always cover my rice, jollof rice or any rice I'm making that needs to be covered this way. So the reason you have to soak your rice before you cook it is because brown rice, like a fada rice, contains phytic acid. All grains contains phytic acid, and phytic acid does not make us digest the nutrients in the grain. So if you soak it for like 8 hours or overnight, you are going to remove some of the phytic acid. 80%, if not 90%, you are going to remove it from the rice, and the body will be able to digest the nutrients in the rice. Another thing is, these days there are arsenic in rice. We always hear about arsenic in rice, and I know so many Africans like to eat imported rice. Imported rice may contain arsenic. If you wash it very well, soak it and wash it well, maybe you will remove some of the arsenic in the rice. But the good news is that African and Asian rice does not contain arsenic. So eat your African or Asian rice if that's what you are going to survive on. Just survive on it because it's good. Then the next thing is to cut carrots and cucumber and carrots and lettuce and cabbage for our coleslaw. I already have cabbage in the fridge. I don't have carrots and lettuce. So I'm going to cut that into a tiny strip in order for me to make coleslaw. Each time we are eating rice, I always like to add coleslaw or salad at the side of to have it as a side for our rice. So it's good to start your kids on vegetables, fruits and vegetables early. Maybe when they grow up, they'll get used to it. That brings me to the book I just wrote, and that is A Complete Guide to Start Solid for a Baby. That book is everything you need to start solid for your baby, to win your baby the modern African way. You really need this book. I explain everything you need to know, how to start, where to start from, the food to start with, the food you don't need to start with, gargling, choking, constipation in baby, a lot. And it also have recipe and timetable you can follow in the book. So try to get the book. I'll put the link to where you can get the book in the description. So for my coleslaw, I will just use a spray, avocado oil spray, and a pinch of salt and mix it together. We don't do too much when it comes to things like this. So to pair with our rice, I'm going to use this peri peri chicken for the kids. And this, I have the recipe of this chicken. I'll put the link to it in the description box so you know how I make the chicken. So I will check the rice and see how the rice is doing. And the next thing I'm going to add to rice is oregano. If you want to use oregano, for you to get the aroma of oregano, you need to squeeze it in your hand before adding it to wherever you're adding it to. So I squeeze the oregano in my hand, add it to the rice, and I will give it a mix. So the next thing is to add my veggies. I always prep my veggies in the fridge. So I'm going to add carrots and I'm also going to add peas, and I'll mix everything together. Always find a way to add vegetables into your kids' meal to balance their diet. I'm going to put off the stove at this stage. I'll just cover the pot and let the rice cook the vegetable. Okay. So after a while, like 4 to 5 minutes, I'll come and check. Maybe the vegetable is soft. And this is the end result of our creamy coconut rice. So if you watch this video to this stage, that means you like the recipe. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more recipe like this. I would love you to give me a comment in the description box, even if it's just to drop your favorite emoji. Thank you so much for watching. Until I see you in another video, take care of yourself and take care of your little ones.